Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back with yet another video. Yeah, here we are. We are doing a tier list today. We're gonna do MLB teams. I'm going to try to predict without even looking at rosters. Yeah, that's probably gonna be like a horrible decision whatsoever. But you know, we're gonna do it anyway because it sounded intriguing to me. I'm kind of just going based off of last year and kind of what I expect this year. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. If you haven't been here before, my name's Cody Lear. Do a lot of content, do a lot of sports content. Got my Pirate shirt on yet again. Had to send a rocket for the baseball video. Yeah. So I'll get shutting up, and without further ado, let's get into the video. I am all over the place. Let's start. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Yes. This is the first S tier team. We know that they are the first S tier team. They have the most loaded roster of all time. I personally think that a lockout could definitely be impending. They're gonna have to figure out how to like throw for that to be the case, because like that team's pretty rough. Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in any team but the Dodgers because they just kind of pay for everybody that they want, and their team is just super talented. Pitching, batting, fielding, they have basically it all. It's a really, really, really strong team. Yeah, no, the Dodgers are what they are. So the Braves have a pretty talented lineup. I'm gonna put them in the A tier because they still have something to prove after last year. Didn't play to the fullest potential that they could have. Injuries are a concern. Injuries are a thing there. I think the Braves still have something to prove though, so it's definitely important that they get the win. Play a little better here. Uh, I'm trying to think of like D tier teams that I would put in here, and I don't quite. The only two that I would probably argue are the Colorado Rockies and the Chicago White Sox. Um, both of these teams have not been winning a lot of games recently. You could argue to stick the A's here, but their lineup honestly does not look awful on paper. And in fact, I'm actually just going to go ahead and put them in C early. The Rockies and the White Sox have just not been good. They have not been good baseball teams. And I don't think that that's going to change this year. Actually, I'm going to put Miami in here too because these teams that I think that they're just kind of on the rebuilding stage, and we hope to see them kind of get that little spark back in the swing of things. But I'm not 100% sure if they will. I'm actually going to put Minnesota in here as well because uh, that team should have been super talented, and they're already falling apart again. So yeah, that's part of the issue there. But yeah, I think those four teams are pretty much the ones that should be hitting that D tier because like, and I don't believe that these will be the worst four teams in baseball. I don't believe that that's almost never how that works. But these are the teams I have the least amount of faith in this year, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick them in here. The Twins are falling on a free fall that's just horrid and it's horrible, and I don't know how long it's going to last. The Twins are. It's weird. Miami, they almost are never putting out a great product out on the field. White Sox have been have been struggling for the last couple years, and the Rockies have not been pretty at all. Uh, Yankees have an S tier roster, especially led by Aaron Judge. They have a talented team. I don't know if they'll make a lot of noise, but roster wise, I think that they are an S tier. I think that's a probably fair assessment. But who knows what they'll actually do? Dodgers, I believe, just beat Toronto, so I'm gonna stick Toronto here too. Yeah, Toronto has a talented team. They just made the World Series not too long ago, but unfortunately, I don't think that that's a team that you really have to look at as like a really big threat. And maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe they haven't lost any bats. Maybe they haven't lost any pitching. But I thought last year was just kind of a surprise. So I'm not 100% sure that I'm sold on them being like a dominant team. But I do think that they have a pretty impressive roster. I still think that they're going to be competing for the AFC East because the AFC East is kind of just wide open. I I definitely believe Toronto will be a little bit of a threat. Okay, so if I had to base it on their pitching alone, um, I would think Detroit would be a freak show. I think this is an A tier team. I think they're going to be competing. I think they're going to win the AL Central more than likely. Which I mean, AL Central, I'm not 100% sure is going to be like phenomenal. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and slide Cleveland in there. Cleveland could also end up being like an A tier team. They always just seem to have solid pitching, very fundamental sound, like hitting. It's kind of hard to really guess on Cleveland. I just never know what to expect from them anymore. To be completely honest with you, ever since they've kind of switched over to the Guardians, a team that feels like it could compete at any time, but also a team that you never know. Speaking of a team you never know, uh, making moves that I do personally enjoy. In Pittsburgh, I don't have a lot of faith though, and it's for good reason. Actually, I'm gonna stick Milwaukee in the A tier as well. I think that that is the best team in the NL Central, and I feel like they need to be separated. The Pirates, on that flip side, they have some really good young pitching. They did get a little bit of a help in the bats with Lowe especially. Uh, every time every time I want to have faith in this team, they let me down though. So a C tier I think is a very fair assessment on that front. I don't know how I feel about this team at all. I just think they're going to be kind of like, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm actually going to stick the Angels in the D tier as well. I don't think that this is a contender like whatsoever. I kind of want to reserve C here for like teams that I definitely think could make a wild card, but it's very unlikely. I just don't think that the. You know what? We will change this mid. Uh, we'll put we'll put that one as like the legit threats to. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll call this one legit threats. We'll call this one contenders. We'll put this one as like wild card possibility. Long shots. Long shot, but potential. Just something goofy like that. And slim chance. Something like that. Um, Speaking of slim chance, I actually think I'm going to put the Cardinals down here, even though I think the Cardinals are probably a better team than Pittsburgh. Yeah. I don't. They're rebuilding, right? So that's the important part. There's not a lot of faith I have in the Cardinals this year. The pitching has not been what it needs to be. The hitting has not been what it needs to be. It's just kind of all over the place. I really don't know what to think about them, and it freaks me out. Phillies. I don't think that they're legit threats right now. I do think that they are contenders, though, especially with the team that they have. We will put the Mets over there as well. Washington, I think, is a potential decent team. You're going to be seeing a lot of the wild card teams right here. I do believe San Diego has a shot for it. I do believe Texas has a chance for it. Mariners, I think, are contenders. There's a lot of teams that just Diamondbacks would be a wild card. I would probably put the Royals in the long shot, but potential. Rays also. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Houston, I mean, they're always going to be competitive. I think the O's and we'll put the Cubs. I think the Cubs are low key more contenders than the Reds. And I'll put the Giants in long shot at potential. I actually think that I do end up liking this now that I'm watching it and looking at it. I think, yeah, yeah, I think these are the teams that are very likely to be competing for a wild card spot. This fourth tier here, these are the teams that definitely have a chance to make it, but I just do not believe that they will. Slim chance. I actually fully agree with that. I'm not really in love with, and I think this is just kind of how baseball is, like kind of where it's at right now. Is I don't have a lot of faith in it at all right now. I think that the only team that really like sparks me and goes like, oh yeah, I really do believe in this team is the Dodgers. Like the Yankees and the Blue Jays, I put them up there because I think that their rosters are talented, and obviously the Blue Jays literally just made the World Series last year. Braves, Brewers played decent ball. The Phillies and Mets definitely are going to be strong teams. I think the Mariners and Cubs will also be strong. Tigers, I think if their pitching is just as good as the rest, then I think that they're going to be a real problem. Yeah, no, I think I like this. I could probably do a better tier list, but we'll see. Maybe we'll look into it again after spring training's officially finished. But to be honest with you, spring training it's just kind of hard to really get a tell on that kind of thing, so it's not really that big of a deal. If you do agree, if you don't agree, definitely let me know down below. I do appreciate any comment that you do. I really want to get a video out today for you guys, so I do want to say thank you for even tuning into me. I appreciate it so very much. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and you would like to do it as well. I would very much appreciate that. Please give me a minute of your time. I'm gonna love you for life.